Hey everyone, and welcome back to the FishMarketAcademy, where we teach you how to fish for gains. So in this video, we'll be exploring the Harmony ecosystem and the various dapps and farms there are on the Harmony platform. So let's take a look. So what is Harmony? Harmony is a proof-of-stake EVM compatible layer 2 blockchain with sharding, and sharding is basically a way of scaling up the ecosystem or the network without sacrificing any of the trilemma. So the blockchain trilemma is decentralization, scalability, and security. And sharding is one way to sort of overcome that in some aspects. And it's what Ethereum 2.0 is trying to do as well, but Harmony has already did their version of sharding and have launched first. So they are kind of acting like a layer 2 solution for Ethereum in a way, but it's also its own chain as well. So their bridges offer cross-chain asset transfers from Ethereum, Binance, Terra, Polkadot, Bitcoin, and more to come. So you notice there's Bitcoin as well. So actually Harmony does allow for proof of work to actually enter into its ecosystem too. So that's quite interesting. And the most important part is that the gas fees are less than a cent. It's essentially free to use. It's just one is enough for you to actually have a lot of transactions done already. And the block times are just 2 seconds, so it feels very fast to use as well. Okay, so in terms of the market cap, I have these slides done up like 3-4 weeks ago, so I had to update a lot of the slides because it went up a lot. When I was doing these slides, the price was only like 10 cents or less actually. And the TVL has gone up a lot, so it's now at 210 million. Harmony's M cap to TVL is now at 12. When I first started doing the slides, it was at 25. So there's a large inflow of TVL into the ecosystem. And for some good reasons, which I will share in a bit. Yeah, but the important thing to take note is that their market cap is at 2.5 billion, which is not too high considering that they are a level layer 2 solution as well as EVM compatible. So you have seen how Phantom has shot up through the ranks, and the same thing could happen to Harmony as well. In fact, Harmony has a much lower gas fee than Phantom, so it is not impossible for Harmony to actually be more popular for the retail users, where gas fees do add into their calculations. Harmony gas fees is really very negligible. So at rank 62, I believe there is still more room to go, and I like the meme where Harmony 1, the token is called 1, I think it will probably trend towards $1. And even when Harmony trends towards $1, I don't think the market cap will even hit AVEX market cap, for example. So there's definitely still more room to grow. So if you go to their website, you can see the comparison table between Harmony and other ecosystems. So you can see they actually have sharding, which is what Ethereum currently doesn't have because they are proof of work. And when they go to Ethereum 2.0, they will have sharding. And Harmony has sort of already done it. And the gas fees are now a lot cheaper. And they also have one of the fastest transaction finalities, 2 seconds. So I have used all the chains, and I can say that Harmony does feel pretty fast as well. So that's quite good. So the one token is essentially used for gas transactions, governance voting, staking, and airdrop. This is the tokenomics. It's not the best type of tokenomics because it's not really a fair launch type, but I think they are quite serious about their development roadmap. So generally, I think this is okay. It's not the best. I'll just give it like a average cost. This was done during the ICO period around 2019. So they didn't have the best type of tokenomics back then. So I would say this is passable. Okay, so now let's go through some of the dapps in the ecosystem, especially the ones that I think is quite interesting. Okay, let's start off with Defi Kingdom. So Defi Kingdom is the first gamified investment platform built on Harmony. It's sort of like DeFi Land if you are on the Solana ecosystem. So they gamify the entire DeFi experience. So this functions as a game, as well as a DEX, decentralized exchange, as well as a liquidity pool opportunity, and a market of rare utility driven NFTs. So these NFTs have certain value as part of the game as well. And Jewel is basically the currency as well as the governance token. So most of the NFTs and stuff in this game, I think, will be priced in Jewel token rather than like a stable coin or whatnot. But that's not confirmed yet. But what's pretty cool is that there's so much liquidity in the DeFi Kingdom LPs, liquidity pools, that basically all routes goes through Jewel. So essentially, DeFi Kingdom sort of became like the liquidity layer of the entire Harmony ecosystem, sort of like Rune, where everything is paired with Jewel. To the point where if you want to swap your USDC into one, usually you would think that has like one of the heaviest liquidity, but no, it will actually swap into Jewel first and then into one. So that's how much liquidity that Jewel has sucked up. So that's very bullish for the price of Jewel. So DeFi Kingdom, apart from the standard stuff like pooling, LP, and staking, they have a collectible hero NFTs, which I'll show in a bit, where you can actually do PvP and PvE and even unlock your early pool tokens, because when you provide LP, you earn a very high reward, but a large portion of that is actually locked. And there are some in-game heroes that actually have the ability to unlock them, I believe. And they're also thinking of releasing a virtual land that can be developed and used for resource gathering and more stuff. Yeah. So this game kind of reminds me of Axie Infinity, and although I rode the wave of Axie from $4 all the way to where it is now, I still think that there will be more games that will sort of have a similar success to Axie, and I think DeFi Kingdom could be one of them, because I've been following them for a few months now, and they have been very consistent and competent in delivering on their roadmap that they have shared. So these are some of the game features: the swapping, the pool, the gardens, where you can actually have your farming, and your bank, where you can actually stake your jewel to earn more jewel. Then the heroes, the land, the buildings, the equipment. So heroes is already out, so let me show you how that looks like. Okay, so this is how DeFi Kingdom looks like. When you first log into it, you need to type in your name as well as your profile picture. I randomly chose just jewel and a random profile picture. I really hope they let us change this in the future. But when you click on this, you can actually see your heroes. Okay, so sometimes it takes a while to load, but these are essentially the heroes. And I have 4 Gen 0 heroes that I participated in during the minting event, where you mint for about 1 to 2k jewel, and there's only 2000 Gen 0s available. In hindsight, I should have minted way more, but hindsight is 2020. So you can see that they have different stats. I won't go into too much detail, but essentially when you flip the card, you can see that they have different professions and stats, and this will play a part later on once the game has more features developed. And you can breed them together. So if you have 2 Gen 0, you can breed into Gen 1, and then from Gen 1, you can also breed into Gen 2. So this is a shiny one because the border actually moves. So that was quite a lucky one. And the rarity goes by common being yellow, green, and then followed by green as uncommon, rare is blue, legendary is orange, which I don't have, and mythic is purple, which I sold away because I wanted to cash a bit into the... I needed to get more jewels, so I wanted to cash a bit in. So just basically... So that's for the games right now. You can't really do anything at the moment, but you can actually sell them. So you can actually send your heroes, and there are escrow services where you send a hero to someone, and then you can actually trade over the counter in a way, but through a verified escrow. So that's how I've been trading the NFT heroes. So now let's go over to farms. So your farms is actually pretty interesting. It's called the gardens. So if you go to menu, gardens, you can see there is a druid. So you can go over to druid, and then you can actually see the various APR. And the APR is still pretty high. So when I first started, the APR was around like, I think 7,000 plus. Now it's dropped to 4,000, which is still incredible because it has been around for a while, and you normally would think that it's a farm and dump token and the price would drop. But when I got in, it was below $1. Now it has boomed all the way to like $3 plus, so that's pretty insane. And I think the emissions will start to drop a bit, but it's still pretty good APR. So I'm mainly doing like Jewel 1, Jewel BUSD, Jewel Miss, Jewel other stuff essentially. So everything is pet to Jewel, so that's pretty good. And when you claim, you won't be able to claim all at one go. You will only be able to claim a certain amount. So if I click claim all, you will see that so when I click claim, I think the server is a bit lagging right now. It keeps popping in and out, but essentially there's a locked amount, and then there's a unlocked amount where you can just claim and do whatever you want with it. So the locked amount goes into your locked balance, and the ones that is unlocked, you can actually deposit it into the bank. So if you go over to the bank, you can go to the teller, and then you can actually deposit your jewels in here. And it's sort of like a appreciating asset. So when I first started, 1x jewel equals to be about 1.05 jewel or something. And as more people transact in a game, the bank takes a transaction fee, and this transaction fee goes into the X jewel. So your X euro increases in value, and now it's 1.5 already, so that's pretty awesome. So just holding your jewel inside here can actually appreciate pretty fast. In just 1-2 months, it actually went up by about 30-40%, so that's quite good. I think I will do another video where I deep dive further into this, but essentially when you have a Gen 0, it's sort of like a farm as well, because you can forever select your Gen 0 heroes and then create new heroes out of them. So you can use them to breed, and Gen 0 has this special attribute where they can breed infinitely. So if you have Gen 0, you can infinitely breed more Gen 1 characters, and then they can be sold. So right now I think a Gen 1 is about 150 to 1,000 euro depending on the variety and the stats and all that. So there are certain stats that favor certain professions, but I'll go into that in a future video. But Gen 0s right now, I think they are going for about 4k euro each, so that is quite expensive. But I think as the game gets more and more popular, it's probably a worthy investment, or at least that's what I think. That's why I'm not selling, but not financial advice, of course. Okay, so the things that I'm looking forward to would be the land, which is coming in November, as well as the equipment and PvE, PvP, which is coming next year. So it's a bit long from here, but as long as they continue to deliver on their roadmap and we get more and more attraction, I feel like the ecosystem will continue to grow as a whole. And the battle system, which is the part that I am very excited about, is going to happen in Q2 2022. So hopefully everything goes according to plan, and next year we can start to play this pretty awesome and fun looking game. And my favorite part about the game is actually the music. So when you first go in, you hear this music, and different parts of the maps have different music, which I think is a really nice detailed touch. And that makes the entire DEX experience a lot more interesting. Oh, I forgot to mention the trading experience. So when you want to trade, you go over to the marketplace, and then you go to the trader, and then you can actually trade whatever you want inside here. So that's pretty handy and pretty interesting. So next up, we'll be talking about Freyala, which is a pretty ambitious gaming project on Harmony. So it's like play to earn as well. And they're essentially incorporating gaming and fantasy elements into crypto and making it engaging and P2E as well, play to earn. So the main game is actually sort of a auto chess type game, similar to Illuvium in a way. It's not out yet, but they have some teasers and sneak peeks, and it looks pretty cool. But there are still more stuff that is available in the ecosystem. Like there's casino, and you can actually delegate one for staking, and then you can stake your Freyala. And there's also land plots right now. So this is how the game looks like when you first enter. So it's a bit barren, but there's lands that you can actually buy, and I think they have a new article today about the different types of rates you can do on the land. I think all the land plots are fully sold already. I managed to get 5 because that's the maximum per wallet, and I am still not very clear on all the details yet, but I'll probably do another video on this in the future. You also have different types of casinos and casino games. So I haven't tried any of this, but I'll probably try them in the near future. In terms of governance, I think Freyala has one of the more interesting governance model. So apart from just the XYA Freyala token, they also have SYIN and SYANG tokens, which acts as governance as well. And there isn't too much official information about SYIN and SYANG tokens at the moment, but just think of one as good and the other as evil in a way. So depending on which faction you want to choose, they can have different types of events specific to that type of faction. So there is a SYIN town and then a SYANG town as well. When I say town, I mean like different plots in that town. So if your plot belongs to a SYIN town, then there's different events, and likewise for SYANG town, there's like different events. So I thought that was quite interesting. Unfortunately, the SYIN and SYANG plots were fully sold out, so I couldn't actually get any of them. But I just thought that was a pretty interesting governance that they are exploring, so I look forward to seeing what they have actually. So the play to earn component, also known as cryptids or harmons, is the core part, and it's basically like a auto chess. And it's basically, like I mentioned just now, an auto chess style battle game that features monsters known as harmons. So you can see them in their different evolutionary stages. And then you can upgrade the harmon rarity to boost their stats and compete with fair matchmaking. And you can also buy them using booster packs. So I think this is going to attract quite a lot of gamers and competitive players potentially. So recently they actually shared a sneak peek on how the auto chess battle will look like, and this was in their Discord channel, so I thought this was interesting to share. So they have something going on, and I think it looks pretty interesting. So like I mentioned earlier, they have already launched their plots, and it's a big role in getting resources for Harmons and playing the game. And I think they have a collaboration with Piggy Bank TRANQ, where you need to use those pigs to actually protect your land. So I thought that was quite an interesting collaboration, but not too much details on that at the moment. So this is the collaboration between Freyala and CryptoPix, which is an NFT project launched on Harmony. So basically, CryptoPix will be sort of like your little pets or Tamagotchis, and you can let them participate in a pig fight using like a weighted coin flip style game, or more like a rock, paper, scissors, Spock, lizard type of game, which I thought was quite childhood-like or interesting. So I've managed to get myself a couple of different picks. They cost about 501 to mint one, and I have like about 6, so a bit more than the number of plots I have. But I just thought maybe if I can sell them in the future, then maybe getting an extra pick might be profitable. Okay, so next we have Farmers Only, with the token symbol being Fox, and they're essentially a farming and auto-compounding vault. So some of the other apps in Harmony, they give you rewards. So if you want to auto-compound them, you can go to Farmers Only to auto-compound them. The model is quite similar to Polycat, if you have been on the Polygon ecosystem, and they basically have like a burn vault that gives you more rewards, and this helps to create some demand for the Fox token. Yeah, so these are some of the screenshots of the Farmers Only dApp. A little bit raw, but I think the app works fine, and the team seems very genuine and supportive. So I don't think any of this will actually rug, but always only put in what you are able to lose, because you never know whether maybe they're not the ones rugging it, but there can be an exploit and things can go wrong. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so next up we have money market. So TRANQUIL Finance is essentially like a Aave on Harmony, and Aave actually is coming to Harmony. More on that in a bit, but TRANQUIL Finance has launched first. So they have launched a testnet. I've tried the testnet and it seems to work, and they will go live on their mainnet on end of the month in October. So when that comes and the grant gets approved from the Harmony ecosystem, then I think we can see a rotation over from perhaps Phantom or AVEX into the Harmony platform as people ape into TRANQUIL Finance for the incentive reward. And I don't think the reward is that much, but like what AVEX has shown, it is not just the size. Even though Bank T only launched with $3 million in rewards, it still managed to attract a large amount of liquidity over. Okay, and the last one we have is ARTEMIS Protocol, which is basically a launchpad on Harmony. So right now they have liquidity mining as well as like an incubator service on ARTEMIS pad. So let's take a look. So if you go over to app.artemisprotocol.1/earn, you can see the various farms, and the APY is pretty high right now. So I am participating in the protocol farming, liquidity mining program, and then they also had this ICO, which I participated in. So that ICO actually gave us a lot of MIS tokens. So I just basically used the MIS tokens that I was given for the ICO, and then I just paired them with ONE and TRANQUIL, which I also got. So TRANQUIL actually gave all early stakers or early buyers airdrop. So it essentially like a free 2x in a way. And speaking of TRANQUIL Finance, I forgot to mention this earlier, but if you go to the ico.tranquil.finance, for those of you that actually bought the TRANQUIL token before they actually did their ICO, you are rewarded with more TRANQUIL. Or if you just want to buy the TRANQUIL tokens right now, you can actually stake it, and it gives about 650% APR, which is pretty good. So I have some that I'm staking right now as well. So MIS also has an incubator where if you stake LP tokens, you get to earn that project token as well that they collaborated with. And the ARTEMIS pad is basically their launch pad. So Chat Finance is launching soon, and I think they are a multi-chain yield platform that started in the Phantom ecosystem. Alright, so here's why I'm bullish on the Harmony ecosystem. Apart from the low market cap, we don't look at MCAP to TVL because when they launch their liquidity or their incentive program, then I think a lot of TVL will flow in. But if you just look at the market cap itself at the moment, I think it's still relatively not so high or not too high, and there is definitely more room to grow. And the Aave money market has already been planned to go live, so you can see that the vote is successful, and I believe it will come in November. But TRANQUIL Finance will probably be the first one. So we saw what happened to Matic and Avex, and as well as Phantom when money market comes. So I feel like Harmony will probably have the same kind of effect. And right now the price is pumping, but I don't think it's pump finish, and I think these are just front runners. So I think it's not too late to enter into the Harmony ecosystem. A disclaimer, I came in before 10 cents. And just a small plug, if you want to know all the moves that I make in the entire DeFi ecosystem, because I'm a multi-chainer, you can join my Patreon, and that gives you access to this private Telegram group where I share everything that I do. But it's optional, and you don't have to join if you don't want to, because I'll still produce free content. Okay, another thing that's coming is the BTC Bridge. So BTC holders can actually directly bridge and access DeFi protocols on Harmony using their BTC token. So that's pretty interesting. So with the BTC Bridge, I imagine there are a lot of BTC whales out there, and they might want to actually try to experience Harmony, and they can bridge over their BTC tokens over to actually experiment or engage with the other protocols with their BTC. So that's probably going to attract more TVL as well. Okay, so in terms of the speed of the network, they actually have sharding, and they claim it's 10 million transactions per second. Obviously, there is no way to prove whether they can actually do this at the moment, because I don't think the transactions have even reached close to that kind of numbers. But the 2-second transaction speed or block time is valid. So I have tried to use a lot of transactions on Harmony, and they are very fast. And the most important part is that they have a 300 million developer incentive program announced on end of August. So this is the part that I'm very bullish on. So I think a lot of protocols and developers will come over into the Harmony ecosystem. And because it's EVM compatible, it's generally quite easy to just port protocols over. And then they can actually have this incentive program and give out basically free incentive, and that will attract a lot of TVL over, which I think we are starting to see that right now with the increase in TVL over the past 1 week. So a lot of my viewers are lunatics as well, and they have a partnership with TVL, Terraform Labs, where they have a bridge with the Terra ecosystem direct to Harmony. So the main stablecoin in Harmony, I believe, is UST. And this partnership makes it a lot easier to actually promote or share Harmony ecosystem with other lunatics, because they all like UST, and UST is one of the key stablecoins in the Harmony ecosystem, and it's easy for people to just use the Terra to Harmony bridge to bridge their UST over and start engaging with these protocols. So I think Luna and Harmony will probably have a pretty good relationship, and with all of the TVL in Luna or Terra, if just a small fraction enters into Harmony, I think that can be very bullish for Harmony ecosystem as well. Additionally, one Anchor, I believe, is coming soon. So it's essentially Anchor but on Harmony, and all of the stablecoins and UST will be able to earn a similar yield to what Anchor is providing on Terra as well. Because there is a direct bridge, I think it's going to be quite cheap, especially the fees of the bridge are very cheap as well. So this is the Harmony roadmap, and what's interesting is that they're also going to build into Cosmos Bridge soon, so that's coming early next year, and with that they will also interact with the rest of IBC, which I think will be pretty interesting. And they're also doing cross-chain NFT, which I don't think it's done yet, but that would be very useful because NFTs are getting very popular, and I'm personally trying to build an NFT project on Terra and bridge them over into Harmony, where there can be a lot more interactions, because Solidity is probably a more popular language, and the interactions that I want my NFT to do is a lot easier on EVMs or Solidity. So the cross-chain NFT bridge is something that I am looking forward to. And then, of course, not to mention one Anchor, like I said, is coming in November. So your one wallet can also basically be generating yield just by sitting there. So there are 4 core founders, and you can pause this video if you want to take a look at their credentials, but I'm just going to go on to the next section. Okay, so overall, I think the Harmony ecosystem is a pretty good ecosystem. I love the bridge that they have between Terra and Harmony. So my Terra ecosystem tokens or UST can easily just go over into Harmony for me to do interesting stuff in the Harmony ecosystem. I think the market cap is still not very high, and the liquidity incentive has not really been front run or priced in yet because Harmony doesn't have a lot of marketing. And I think there also isn't really like a figurehead for Harmony, so that's the not so good part. But I think that makes it more decentralized in a way. And the most important thing is that Defi Kingdom is a one-of-a-kind killer app that I've not seen anywhere else, and that can potentially change the face of DeFi. And it's sort of carrying the entire Harmony ecosystem in a way right now, because the amount of liquidity in Harmony in Jewel is so high in Harmony that I think if Jewel or if Defi Kingdom, something were to happen to it, it could bring the entire ecosystem down in a way, because there's not much to do in Harmony without Defi Kingdom. But I don't think that's going to happen. I've been following the devs for months, and they have been doing a lot of AMAs, and they deliver on their timelines, and I think overall they should be able to deliver what they promise. Another main interesting game is Freyala, which also looks very ambitious, but if they can do what they say they will do, it can become a Illuvium competitor. And if you look at the market cap of Illuvium versus Freyala, there is a lot of room for Freyala to grow. So if you missed out on Illuvium, you can consider Freyala as an alternative, but I imagine that the price can be quite volatile because it's still a relatively small cap token. Disclaimer, I got in around 7 cents and it's now 37 cents, so I'm not going to sell anytime soon, but just wanted to let you guys know that you will be pumping my bags as well. Other than that, I think there are a couple of other games building on Harmony, and because, like I said, Harmony is fast, it's cheap, it's scalable, and I think Q4 will be play to earn season with a lot of other dapps in other ecosystems all coming out with their own play to earn stuff. I think Harmony should be able to catch that wave and do well as well. Seeing that Harmony might become like a GameFi ecosystem because of all the games building on it. At the end of the day, don't forget to invest with caution, so don't put in more than what you can afford to lose. And if you found this video useful, do remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!